Hej, gramy dalej w The Moment of Silence, znajdujemy się w obserwatorium, no i tutaj musimy zwrócić uwagę na te koordynaty, które widzimy. Będziemy mogli obserwować te miejsca na niebie. I tutaj 963411127, zapiszmy sobie. 2578 6431. Tutaj jakieś kolejne. 5568 6698. 33424768. Jeszcze tutaj jakieś widać. Tylko czy... No właśnie, on się kieruje do wyjścia. Czy jakieś odpowiednie zbliżenie się uda uzyskać? No to przemieszczanie się w tej grze nie jest wygodne. No, 2541 7620. Trzeba mieć dobry wzrok. No to jedziemy. Zacznijmy od 9634 1127. Fajna tutaj jest taka spokojna, ambientowa muzyka. Ładnie to wygląda. Wydrukujmy sobie, będziemy mieć pamiątkę z naszej obserwacji nieba. No takich pamiątek będziemy mieć 5. 5568 6698. Oczywiście musimy zapłacić $, tak? Za wydrukowanie. O! Coś słabo nam poszło, bo nie zrobiliśmy tego. 5568 6698 jeszcze raz. Zaglądamy. No takie rzeczy w grze zostały wykonane starannie, fajnie to wygląda. 3342 4768. Wydrukowaliśmy, a nawet nie zajrzeliśmy. To tak mały błąd z mojej strony. Dobra, zabiorę, ale jeszcze raz to sprawdzę, żebyście mogli też zobaczyć, jak to przepięknie wygląda. No. Ja się tak śpieszę. Proszę. No i jeszcze 2 razy wpisujemy. Ok, oddalę widok. 2578 6431. Za każdym razem drukujemy, żebyśmy tam mieli w ekwipunku. Jest to w naszym ekwipunku, czy po prostu zapisuje się może w naszym telefonie? Nie wiem. Nieważne. 2541, no może wyrzucamy do kosza. 7620. O, to wygląda najbardziej efektownie. Zabieramy zdjęcie. No i możemy stąd iść. Możemy też sprawdzić torbę.
Needle and thread and knife and I think that's an old video cam.
Chociaż to chyba już sprawdziliśmy wcześniej, nie pamiętam. W końcu nagrywałem wczoraj albo chyba wczoraj. Poprzedni odcinek, to mogłem już zapomnieć. No i wracamy. Jeszcze może porozmawiamy z tym sympatycznym doktorem, z którym już mieliśmy przyjemność w poprzednim odcinku. No te tła całkiem fajnie wyglądają, chociaż no, mówię, Gdyby ktoś mi powiedział, że to są lata 80. na przykład, to bym bez problemu uwierzył. XX wieku. No jest 60 lat później, bo rok 2044.
Dr. Price, it's me again.
What can I do for you?
I would like to ask some questions about the SETI.
Okay, no problem. That's a good idea.
Why is the souvenir shop closed?
Oh, they're doing their inventory. Paul is doing the inventory. I am sorry. He'll be ready soon. If you really want to buy something, I could get it for you if necessary.
No, I don't think so.
Inwentory to takie dobre słowo do przygodówki.
There's something else.
Czy jest coś jeszcze, czy nie ma
I have
niczego?
a question for you personally.
For me? Oh, if you want.
Chyba nie ma niczego
I'm
już.
gonna look around some more. Thank you for now, Doctor.
No problem.
Wrócimy więc do naszej dzielnicy. Ale najpierw odlecimy z Portoryko oczywiście. Oto Portoryko jest terytorium zależnym od Stanów Zjednoczonych, ale z taką dość dużą autonomią, więc tak, czy to kraj, czy nie kraj, powiedziałem w poprzednim odcinku, że państwo, no jest to państwo, ale jak mówię, zależne jednak. Nieważne, tak czy inaczej wróciliśmy, no i teraz kamera się musi przestawić, trzymam kciuki, udało się. Szkoda, że tutaj tych animacji właśnie chodzenia nie można pominąć. Na przykład klikając na mapę w dowolnej chwili, a nie dopiero kiedy wchodzimy do Satkara. Bo tutaj żadnego skrótu nie robimy, tylko musimy przejść i tak przez wszystkie lokacje w międzyczasie. No i jesteśmy w miejscu, które najlepiej znamy. Chociaż no, nie mieszkamy tutaj długo. Idziemy do Boba. Zawsze dobrze z jakimś kolegą sobie porozmawiać.
Hey, Peter. How's it going today? Man, do you look tired. Didn't you sleep too good?
On the plane.
Oh, you were traveling. Pretty short trip, huh?
Pretty exhausting. I was in Puerto Rico.
Oh my god. What did you want there?
I made a trip to the SETI Institute.
Has the alien craze infected you now too?
Maybe. In a way. I'm not so sure yet.
Should we be worried about you?
That's something I'm asking myself sometimes.
No niestety, chyba wiele osób tak ma. Ja nie jestem wyjątkiem. Dobrze. Teraz wrócimy sobie do mieszkania. Może na tym wideoczacie dostaniemy jakąś wiadomość. Oczywiście najpierw będziemy musieli czekać, aż winda przyjedzie, tak? Ale i tak szybko te windy działają dość. Na to 23 piętro wjechaliśmy w dość szybkim tempie. No i zobaczymy. No, mieszkanie otwarte chyba, tak? Bo po co zamykać? A nie, to po prostu takie są drzwi, więc możliwe, że nie było otwarte.
Peter, hi. I had a great day. How was yours?
I was gone. Traveling.
Great. Where were you?
In Arecibo. At the SETI Institute.
Ah, so, what did you do there?
I just wanted to check it out. It's very interesting.
Anything interesting?
Well, actually, there are quite a lot of interesting things.
How did you come to think of that? Did someone recommend it to you?
You didn't even ask me if I enjoyed myself.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I'm always so curious, can ask so many questions, and I always forget to ask the most important ones. So, did you have fun? Was the weather fine? Did you see a few aliens?
Yeah. Lots of aliens, actually. But inflatable ones.
I have heard that, yes. I'm glad you had a good time and didn't have to think about the incident with your neighbor.
Well, I'm thinking about even more now. I gotta get going. See you later.
No ja bym jej nie ufał. Jakby próbowała zdobyć od niego jakieś informacje. Albo może mocno się interesuje tym, co tam robił, jak wpadł na to miejsce. A przecież on nic o niej nie wie. Oj, nie. Wracaj. Wracaj, powiedziałem. No i to jest właśnie to. No, teraz to widać dokładnie. A. Udało się. To są właśnie te problemy z systemem sterowania.
No, I'll let them calm down a little bit first.
O!
Where did I see this thread before? I was holding something in my hand that was made of it. A knife. Darn sharp. Why was Mr. Oswald carrying a knife? He was probably quite afraid.
No dobra, sprawdziliśmy to. I teraz możemy zadzwonić, czyli musieliśmy chyba sprawdzić te przedmioty. Okej.
Hello, Mrs. Oswald.
Hi, Peter. You were gone for quite a while. Got any news?
You could say that. Let me ask you this, Debbie. Was your husband shooting magnetic tape videos in his spare time?
What? Not that I know of. Anyway, what is a magnetic tape video?
It's an outdated way of recording films. Invented during the 20th century. Analog technique. It works with magnetic tapes. Back then, this technique was very popular and widely spread. I'm sure you've already seen one of those so-called VCRs at a garage sale.
Oh, those boxes that look like game consoles?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, your husband owned such a video cam which is used for recording films on these magnetic videotapes. Did you know that?
He never told me anything about it, and I haven't seen the camera before either.
I found the video camera in a bag which your husband forgot at the SEDI. Or maybe he left the bag there on purpose, I don't know. There were also some other things in this bag. Why did he need this completely outdated video equipment for?
I really have no idea. Graham's always been into the strangest things. Maybe it has something to do with his article. Maybe he did something about the history of technology.
Ja przypominam sobie, a już odeszły do lamusa kasety wideo. Jeszcze 20 lat temu, no to bywały, tak. Wypożyczalnie przecież kaset wideo i tam filmy można było wypożyczać. Nagrywało się z telewizji na kasety wideo. Oczywiście wiadomo, że po jakimś czasie te kasety, te taśmy już były zniszczone i ta jakość filmów nie była najlepsza, ale miało to jakiś swój klimat.
Do you recall the last time your husband was at the airport?
At the airport. Let's see now. Well, he was actually always at the airport. As far as I know, he also had a safe deposit box there.
A safe deposit box? Do you have the key?
I guess Graham has it.
Maybe he left it here at home.
I don't know. What does a key like that look like?
Do you mind if I just look around a little bit? Maybe I'll find the key.
Sure.
To na pewno powinien być dobrze ukryty.
Here's something I wanted to show you. This thread was in that bag I found as well. What could your husband possibly want with thread?
Oh, that's the thread I always used to fix Tommy's teddy bear.
Tommy's teddy?
Yeah. I don't know why he had it with him.
I think there's more to this teddy than meets the eye. There is something else.
Dobra, na razie chyba właśnie niczego nie ma
I
więcej.
think I have to get going now. I'll get in touch with you by messenger in case I hear something. Either by messenger or otherwise I'll call you here directly.
Thanks, Mr. Wright.
Tutaj, ten kluczyk, na wierzchu. Także nie było trzeba długo szukać. Porozmawiajmy jeszcze z Tomim.
Tommy? Hi. Everything all right?
Have you found my dad?
No. No, not yet. Unfortunately. Listen, Tommy, can I borrow your teddy real quick?
Why?
I just would like to check something. You'll get him back. It could be very important.
Okay.
No i teraz rozetnijmy misia.
Look at that. There's an old magnet tape inside the teddy. A videotape. Probably belongs to that camera I found. The videotape.
Hi, Peter. You were gone for quite a while. Got any news?
You could say that. Here's something I wanted to show you. The tape was in Tommy's teddy. Why did your husband hide this tape inside the toy?
My goodness, I have no idea. I guess he wanted to hide it, but I don't know from whom or why.
That I would like to know as well. I'm going to look at the tape. If I can somehow dig up a VCR, that is. I think I have to get going now. I'll get in touch with you by messenger in case I hear something. Either by messenger or otherwise I'll call you here directly.
Thanks, Mr. Wright.
Trzeba zdobyć odtwarzacz wideo. Wiadomo, że mamy w pracy, w firmie, w której pracujemy, eksperta od technologii, więc może on nam podpowie, może nawet udostępni taki sprzęt. A wiecie, te fizyczne nośniki, no nie wiem, dla mnie zawsze miały swój urok. Tak jak fizyczne książki, tak jak gry komputerowe w pudełkach, tak i właśnie kasety wideo. Nie wiem, jakiś sentyment związany z tym, że coś się dostawało do rąk, nie? Można było obejrzeć chociażby okładkę, jakąś tam ewentualnie zawartość pudełka. W książce, no to wiadomo. Może to tylko takie nieistotne rzeczy, ale jednak, no nie wiem, była wokół tego jakaś otoczka. To jest tutaj nasza firma. Szczerze powiem, że nie lubię tutaj wchodzić i włazić na górę, no ale to co powiedziałem, że trzeba się za każdym razem przez te wszystkie miejscówki, mimo że tutaj tylko raz mieliśmy coś do zrobienia, no to trzeba się zawsze przeczołgiwać dosłownie. O, tutaj dobrą kamerę złapałem. A nie, złą kamerę.
Okay, I have to keep working.
Yeah, me too. See you later then.
Z przyzwyczajenia już poszedłem do niego, a chodziło mi o innego kolegę. Tutaj Virtual Theater nie ma zastosowania. Wszyscy stoją cały czas w tych samych miejscach albo siedzą.
So, Bill, how does it look like?
All clear so far. You back already? I thought you had some time off.
Yeah, well, I still have to finish something up. And? How was it?
It was awful. Thank you.
So why thank you if it was awful? What the heck are you talking about?
Food that tastes disgusting makes you thin. And that's my goal.
That could be. I suppose that's the dirty little secret behind light life.
Ale jedzenie najgorszej jakości powinno smakować i powinno uzależniać, nie?
I found some sort of magnetic tape. Do you think you could possibly read this thing? I would guess so.
Oops.
I don't know the exact name or model number for it.
Jesus! That's a damn VHS tape. No one's used that format since 2010. A real antique. Where did you get it?
That's not important. I'd just like to take a look at it. How would I get a hold of a VCR? Where do they still have them? Any idea?
A video recorder? Man, that won't be easy. If I were you, I'd try the Media Museum.
Or on the scrapyard.
Hold on. The best place to look would actually be Greenwich Village. There are still a few antique dealers who deal in these old things.
That sounds like a plan. Maybe you even have an address for me?
I've heard of a guy called Huntington who's got a shop there. He seems to be a bit weird.
What do you mean, a bit weird?
Well, it's just that I read something about him in the Electronic Observer. He's paranoid, believes in conspiracy theories, and he won't cooperate at all with the authorities. He won't allow his shop to be linked up electronically and refuses to go global net standard bookkeeping. A really stubborn old man.
Yeah, well, a certain stubbornness that comes with age. Heard that happen sometimes. And he got away with that?
Well, anyway, he made enough of a fuss to get into the Electronic Observer. There was a photo of him standing in his shop. The most unbelievable collection of old junk that you have ever seen. Perhaps he still has his shop.
Huntington, Greenwich Village, right. It actually sounds kind of promising. Thanks, Bill. Okay, I gotta go now.
Right. Okay then.
To było ciekawe, że powiedział, że nigdy już nie używa takiego sprzętu, czyli magnetowidów, kaset wideo od 2010 roku, a to dlatego jest to ciekawe, że gra powstała w 2004 roku, więc to trochę wybiegli w przyszłość z tym stwierdzeniem. No ale rzeczywiście obecnie, tak jak winyle wróciły do łask, to kasety wideo chyba niekoniecznie. Ale może jeszcze wrócą. No, przed nami otworzy się teraz nowa lokacja, bo dostaliśmy namiary na antykwariusza.
All right, here we are. Greenwich. The store of this Mr. Huntington has to be somewhere around here.
No i kolejna lokacja z 2044 roku. Powiedzielibyście, że to jest 2044 rok, patrząc na te budynki. Budynki wydają się stare, ale lokacja ma klimat, tyle że no, na pewno futurystycznie nie wygląda. Tu jakiś facet w czerni.
A bunch of old stuff. Even though it's charming, it's also pretty expensive. Hey, some of these things we had when we were kids. Unbelievable how fast all of this becomes outdated. There's a sign on the floor. Looks as if it fell off.
No i trzeba jakoś, bo drzwi są zamknięte, tak?
Locked.
Tak. Trzeba było to zrobić, żeby to działanie miało sens, które chciałem wykonać pośpiesznie. Trzeba jakoś tę tabliczkę zdobyć. Więc co? Drut. Jakąś wędkę trzeba zrobić. Łączymy ze sznurkiem. I jeszcze do tego magnesik. Trzeba by szybę wybić, a tego chyba nie chcemy zrobić. Ale tutaj... Dobra, spróbujemy tak. Nie. Na tym zbliżeniu powinno zadziałać.
Let's see what's written on it. There, a messenger number. That will help me out.
Czyli możemy do niego zadzwonić. Pan Huntington.
Huntington Antiques.
Ah, good afternoon, Mr. Huntington. Are you open for business?
Of course.
But the door is closed. Would you mind to open the door for me?
What do you want exactly?
Well, take a look around. Maybe buy something. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, I'll open up for you.
Brązowa czcionka na czarnym tle to nie jest rewelacyjny pomysł.
Ah, there you are. Good afternoon. Great that it all worked out this time.
Come in, young man.
Thank you. A globe. Relic from a time when the world was still in order. On second thought, there's probably not much difference.
Można od razu z nim porozmawiać, albo się najpierw rozejrzeć. A jest tutaj ciekawie.
I don't believe it. He keeps pigeons in here. I should probably ask Mr. Huntington first.
No ja bym nie chciał gołębi. Za dużo z nimi problemów w miastach.
Nothing there.
Ile książek.
First I should talk to him.
Wojna światów Wellsa. Oczywiście mam w formie książkowej, a tutaj jest jako słuchowisko radiowe. The Hidden Lines of Power.
Hopefully the old guy knows what he's doing here. He has books here that are listed on the Print Crime Index.
Ho, indeks zbrodni druku.
Oh my gosh. What is that thing? The cash register? I guess I can't pay with a messenger here.
Wygląda trochę jak złomowisko, ale rzeczywiście, no, w 2044 roku takie rzeczy mogą albo w starszych ludziach taką nostalgię wywołać, albo w młodszych taki efekt wow. To kiedyś korzystało się z czegoś takiego? Chciałbym jeszcze kamerę zmienić tutaj. O!
Hey, a VCR. Late 20th century, I would guess.
Czyli to, czego szukamy. A to co, suszarka do włosów? Magnetofon też był. Dobra, porozmawiajmy z nim.
Now, son, what can I do for you?
As I mentioned, I would like to look around a bit. Really a great store that you have here.
Well, things have accumulated over the years.
I've never been in a shop like yours before. It's fascinating. Makes you feel like you want to move in immediately. Oh, by the way, I'm Peter. Peter Wright.
Nice to meet you, Peter. Please, make yourself at home.
Let me ask you, would you mind to tell me a little bit about your shop? Everywhere you look around here, it seems to breathe interesting stories.
If you like, please. I don't have much company here, and most young people aren't at all interested in old things. They just want consoles, telescreens, well, you know, whatever is trendy these days.
Yeah, of course. And I have to admit I have a telescreen myself. I hope I can stay anyway.
Of course you can.
Where did you get all these things from?
Oh, well, from a lot of different places. I get things from house clearances, from other dealers, stuff people chuck out. Sometimes people come in with family heirlooms, and a few things are from my own family.
Some of them look pretty European.
Oh, yes, yes. I used to import a lot from Europe. The antiques market is, of course, a lot bigger there, and pieces are cheaper, too.
I bet it took forever to collect all these things.
I've spent my whole life doing it.
Why do you keep pigeons in here?
Why do you ask that?
Just like that, because I was curious. I mean, it's actually not exactly common to keep pigeons in closed rooms, especially not in an antique shop.
Well, yes, you're probably right. Let's just say they're my hobby.
I would say it's really pretty unusual that someone keeps pigeons in his place of business. Wouldn't you say?
They're practical. And they're company.
What could be practical about this?
They're carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons? Seriously? You really send your mail through pigeons? Are you serious?
Only that way.
That is absolutely unbelievable. My grandfather told me about his carrier pigeons, but that was 30 years ago.
Today they're worth more than ever.
But carrier pigeons are really slow, and I mean there are 1,000 other ways to communicate.
But no other way is as safe. Whatever I send by carrier pigeons cannot be read in any computer, and it will not go into any archive.
Oh, I understand. You're worried that someone could invade your privacy.
Don't you?
I'm not quite sure. I would like to think that the security standards are pretty high everywhere. You just have to watch out who you let get into your private stuff.
Security? For who?
For us. For you and me, for everybody. My neighbor can't snoop through my mailbox. It works as good as a real mailbox would.
So then, why must carrier pigeons be reported?
Carrier pigeons have to be reported?
Certainly. It's been like that for the last 15 years.
Well, please don't get me wrong, but you could use them to conduct illegal communication, and that's not in the interest of the communal safety.
So, my privacy threatens communal safety. Is that it?
Depending on the circumstances, yeah. Any offense wouldn't be a private matter, would it? There's always a compromise.
That sort of safety I can do without. And that sort of compromise, too.
And that's not only your decision alone. That's why we have laws. And they serve us all.
Well, they don't serve me. I use pigeons.
Widać, że tutaj następuje zderzenie takiego światopoglądu. Oczywiście jest trochę racji i w tym, co mówi jeden, i w tym, co mówi drugi. Tutaj trzeba też wziąć pod uwagę realia, w jakich toczy się gra. Te realia dopiero poznajemy. Więc zobaczymy, który punkt widzenia będzie bliższy prawdy tutaj.
Don't get me wrong, Mr. Huntington, but bug-proofed carrier pigeons and so on. That sounds to me just a wee bit paranoid. Do you really feel persecuted?
Oh, you know, persecuted isn't a nice word. Let's just say I have my own views about the world.
But it must be pretty strenuous to permanently live with that kind of fear.
Oh, yes. Tell me, have you ever heard of the NSA, Peter?
Here and there, but they don't exist anymore. For almost 30 years now.
Do you know of the Echelon program, dating back to 1990?
1900 when? No, sorry, I don't.
Well, you see, I know about it, and you can be sure that I've been watching very closely. Very closely.
Yeah, well, that is all very nice. After all, it's your life.
And yours.
There is something else. Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
Isn't it illegal to sell these printed books?
Maybe.
These books are not scanned, right?
I'm of the opinion that non-scanned books are just as interesting as scanned ones, if not even more interesting.
But this way, these books are not really available to everybody. That way you make information, once again, private property. It becomes luxury for privileged people only. The law about the electronic gathering of printed material is supposed to...
To democratize the written word. Is that what you mean?
But of course, that's how it actually is. Actually, you would have to turn these books into the Department of Communications so they can get scanned. Afterwards, you will actually get them back.
Nobody has ever gotten books back from the Department of Communications, and not even a tenth of the books have appeared online.
Yeah, well, that's because it will take some time until everything will be fed into the system. As time goes by, there are just more and more editions, so we have to have a little patience.
It's rather astounding how effective this propaganda still is. The law on electronic registration is a censorship measure, disguised as democratization of information, my son.
You're serious about this, aren't you?
Don't let yourself be deceived by the lies on the telescreens and the cheap slogans of the dumb yuppies in the communication agencies. Yes?
No, it's okay.
I'm keeping hold of my books in any case. You can read them anytime you want. Here and now.
Powiem szczerze, że te wypowiedzi tego pana są dla mnie praktycznie w ogóle nieczytelne. Tak jak teraz siedzę, muszę się wychylać, żeby przy tym świetle widzieć, co on powiedział. No, tak fatalna sprawa, jeśli chodzi o dobór kolorów.
Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
How long have you had this shop?
I started in 2018 with a shop in the Lower East Side. Back then, it was still a decent place, you know. In 2032, I had to move because the government had ordered the restructuring of the area.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Since then, the shop has been here. I've redesigned it to look exactly as it was on the Lower East Side.
Did you get a chance recently to take a look around the Lower East Side?
Oh yes, I was there a couple of years ago. Terrible. The whole area's fallen apart. The houses look like something out of Europe just after the Second World War. And the only people in the streets are criminals. It's a tragedy what they did to that part of the city.
Do you have many customers? I would assume that, especially here in Greenwich, you should have a potentially well-off clientele.
What makes you think that? I sell almost nothing. But that's not important. I have the things I love around me. What use would they be in the sterile apartment of some yuppie who has no sense for the soul of things?
Oh, I understand. But how do you manage to get by then? And besides, the shop is costing you money as well.
The house belongs to me. The government bureaucrats were kind enough to give it to me in exchange for my departure from the Lower East Side.
Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
No i tutaj znowu proszę powiedzieć mi coś o sobie. Tak trochę nienaturalne to jest, że idzie się do sklepu, tutaj do antykwariatu czy sklepu z antykami i prowadzi się takie przesłuchanie. Proszę opowiedzieć mi coś o sobie. O tym miejscu okej, może ciekawić, ale o sobie przy pierwszym spotkaniu z kimś, no nie wiem, tak jakby to było spotkanie towarzyskie, a nie wizyta w sklepie.
Please, tell me something about yourself. What is it that fascinates you about antiques?
They have a history. They are history. They are the survivors. They can tell us about other times. The things here in this shop are not simply what they are. They aren't just objects that take up space in a room. They are what they represent, what they are linked to. Memories, feelings, thoughts. They are like an archive of what our lives were like.
Maybe sometimes we don't really want to know what the essence of our life once was. Sometimes it's better to forget certain things.
I think it's those things that we would rather forget that are really worth remembering.
But it could also break you, living only in the good old times.
And it can destroy you to live without any memories.
Gdybym nagrywał tę grę w momencie, kiedy na YouTube, w czasach, kiedy na YouTube maksymalnie film mógł mieć tam chyba do 15 minut, to mógłbym mieć problem, żeby taką rozmowę jedną zmieścić w odcinku.
May I ask you how old you are?
I'm 64. Year of birth 1980.
Czyli jest 3 lata starszy ode mnie, no. Widzicie, ja też już praktycznie tak wyglądam.
That means you don't have any children?
No. No, Anna couldn't have children.
Oh. But the cloning procedure was already known, wasn't it? Did you never consider...
Well, yes, we spoke about it. But I didn't want technology to be the father of my child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand quite well.
Do you have a cloned child?
No, I have a son who's not cloned. A natural child. My wife carried him for 9 months. Everything just the natural way.
That's nice. You must be proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely am.
Do you have a picture?
I don't have one with me, but he is really a very nice boy.
Yes, I'm sure that he is. A child always has a place in the heart of his parents.
You're absolutely right.
A tutaj jest mowa o klonowaniu jako sposobie na potomstwo. No, myślę, że teraz in vitro jest. Natomiast nie sądzę, żeby przez klonowanie w 2044 roku na przykład żeby rodzice otrzymywali dzieci w ten sposób.
How did you celebrate the union?
Oh, it was a big, beautiful dream of freedom and prosperity, unity and peace. We believed all of it, everything. When President White announced the first union, people danced in the streets.
Well, it proved itself to be sturdy, didn't it?
You can say that. It has become overwhelmingly powerful.
Who would want to attack it anyway? Besides a few Luddites, maybe.
Nobody's dancing in the streets anymore.
People are content. They don't dance, but they don't complain either. What else do we want?
Yes. What more can we ask for?
I have another question for you. Do you run this shop here alone?
Yes, unfortunately. My wife used to help me.
Oh, I assume she is... I'm very sorry about that. I didn't mean to...
She's not dead, if that's what you mean. She disappeared.
She disappeared?
Yes, 2031, during the raids against the Luddite riots.
You want to talk about it?
It's been a long time. A very long time.
You know, if you don't want to talk about it, that's...
I can still remember the exact date. It was May 31st, 2031. On that day, the NYPD had announced that the area was to be cleansed of technology criminals because of the bombing campaign of 2030. It was thought that the Luddites had an operations base in the Lower East Side. They didn't consider that a lot of normal residents in the Lower East Side wouldn't want to leave their houses too. In the early hours of the morning, young people had started to gather in the streets. The mood was getting more and more heated, and by midday, the young people had started building barricades in the streets.
Were you there as well?
Anna and I were in the shop. We closed and kept completely quiet so that nothing would happen to us. Old tires were burning in the street. The air was black with smoke. As the armored vehicles moved in, bottles and stones started flying. The police had 300 men there who shot knockout bullets straight into the crowds.
That sounds terrible.
Then, this little girl came to our door and knocked frantically. Anna answered the door and the girl took her by the hand. A man lay injured by the barricades, maybe her father. I stood by the door and called to Anna, told her she should come back. Anna ran to the man. He was still moving, and I saw that she was trying to help him.
And then what happened?
Then riot troops from the NYPD arrived. They pulled Anna away from the man and put a sack over her head. They dragged her to a van. I ran after her and got hit by a knockout bullet.
And then? She was gone? She disappeared just like that?
I never saw her again.
And the police?
I never found out what happened to her.
Ciekawa sprawa. Może teraz dzieje się z Oswaldem coś podobnego.
Tell me more about the Luddites riots. I've tried before to find some information about this online, on GlobalNet. But you can...
Hardly find any information about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Almost all reports of it have disappeared too.
The more exciting it is to meet someone who has a recollection of what really happened. So, what did exactly happen?
They were the biggest riots New York has ever seen. The Lower East Side was like a war zone for days. The NYPD was searching for the man behind the bombing campaign that had begun on the 20th anniversary of the Union.
Who was it?
A programmer called Jeffrey Stein.
The software programmer?
Yes. He had been working on the development of AI for years, and had come to the conclusion that he had to bomb the AI laboratories and automated communications facilities. He became the first machine basher of the new millennium to take up arms.
In short, he wanted to bomb us back into the Stone Age.
That's one point of view. On the Lower East Side, he had a lot of supporters.
But why did people support him?
The Lower East Side had 6 industrial zones that employed thousands of people. And when all the factories were switched over to robots and equipped with AI, almost everybody in the area was left unemployed.
That I didn't know.
Stein realized that. That's why the robotic units were the main targets of his bombing campaign. For the people on the Lower East Side, that made him a hero.
And the riots?
At some point, the NYPD found out that Stein was hiding out in the Lower East Side. Their plan to smash up the whole area was the cause of the riots.
What became of Stein?
It is said that he was shot during the riots. A man by the name of Emerson has supposedly taken over his role.
Dużo informacji. Ciekawe, czy to jest w jakiś sposób związane ze zniknięciem Oswalda, z zabraniem go przez jakieś służby.
What do you think about the most recent bomb attack?
I think it's wrong.
I'm glad to hear that. I almost got the impression that you sympathize with...
Murderers?
Yeah. Murderers. Cowardly murderers at that.
I sympathize with freedom. But you don't achieve freedom by killing innocents.
Then you are in favor of the cryptography prohibition, I take it?
Absolutely not.
You will vote against it?
I won't have anything to do with it. I'm not going to use a messenger in the automated voting booths.
You're against it, but you won't vote against it? It's really hard for me to follow you there.
I'll wait, Peter. What is wrong will fail. You'll see.
I think this law will pass.
It won't.
Greenberg and Winter did come up with a good PR strategy for it.
It'll all come to nothing.
Ciekaw jestem, czy słowa tego antykwariusza są w jakiś sposób są poglądami autorów tej gry. Bo trochę takie wrażenie momentami odnoszę.
There is something else. Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
No to już będzie
Can I
koniec?
ask you something else?
Of course,
Nie,
just
nie
ask.
będzie koniec. Bo przecież jeszcze szukamy
I'm
czegoś.
looking for a certain device. One with which I can play back old magnetic tape cassettes.
Oh, you mean a VCR?
Yeah, probably.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Not a single soul has a thing like that. Nobody seems to need something like that anymore. But I do need one.
That's not what I mean. I'm amazed because you're the second customer in 2 weeks who's wanted to buy such equipment. And you're also the second in the last 10 years.
Another customer? You wouldn't happen to still know his name?
No, he didn't tell me. But he didn't actually buy a VCR. He bought a video camera instead. And a tape.
That would be really more than a strange coincidence. Well then, do you still have a VCR then?
I think so. But I'm not totally sure where it is. You can see how things are here.
Yeah, of course. I'll go and look around right now. And if there is one here, I'll find it.
Trochę to mi dziwne się wydaje, że nie wie gdzie jest. No chyba, że już jakieś problemy po prostu z pamięcią z racji wieku, ale ma 64 lata, to niekoniecznie. Myślę, że skoro tak kocha te rzeczy, to przechadza się po tym swoim sklepie i patrzy na te rzeczy. No, przynajmniej chyba ja bym tak
I
robił.
have to go. I'll see you later.
Okay. See you soon, Mr. Wright.
No dobra, to jeszcze sprawdźmy ten magnetowid.
I bet I can use this thing to watch Mr. Oswald's tape. Mr. Huntington, I would like to take this VCR with me. I'll pay for it as soon as I've had the chance to get some cash, okay?
Okay.
W taki sposób to i cały sklep by mógł kupić. Zapłacę później, jak będę miał.
War of the Worlds by Orson Welles. Gonna get it. Mr. Huntington, I'm interested in this radio play. Unfortunately, I don't have any cash left. Only my messenger. I'll come back later and bring cash with me, okay?
Okay.
Powiedzmy, że zapłacę jak wrócę. To znaczy, że gdzieś pójdzie i wróci. I wtedy zapłaci. To nie o to chodzi. Chodzi o to, że zapłaci, jak zdobędzie trochę pieniędzy. No. Tłumaczcie porządnie. Dobra, powoli będziemy kończyć odcinek, tylko się przemieszczę. Rozmowa trwała 20 minut, mniej więcej. Także dość długo, przyznacie. Jeden dialog, 20-minutowy. I przemieścimy się teraz do Lower East Side, bo będziemy rozmawiać z Cypherem. Musimy jakieś kable do tego magnetowidu zdobyć. Także podejdę tam, nawet wejdę do środka i zakończę odcinek. No, ciekawy, bo trochę mam wrażenie, ten dialog ostatni już był bardziej dotyczył może głównego wątku, Myślę, że będzie się to w jakiś sposób z nim wiązało. No i oczywiście znaleźliśmy się w nowej lokacji. To też cenne. No i to wszystko na tę chwilę. Dziękuję serdecznie za uwagę. Trzymajcie się. Do usłyszenia.